Tracking the race to replace longtime Illinois Senator Dick Durbin. The 81-year-old is not seeking re-election after serving 5 terms in the Senate. Polls open for the Illinois primary in less than 72 hours from now. One Democrat running to replace Durbin was in the Metro East today. Krishnamoorthi visited Collinsville, meeting with people at the Electrical Workers Union there. The current U.S. representative is seen as one of the favorites in Tuesday's race. He says it's important that the people of Southern Illinois have a voice in the state.
Overall, what I believe that people here keep telling me is we need more economic development. We need the agriculture economy to recover, especially in light of all these tariffs that have decimated much of our agricultural economy.
And the other 2 Democratic candidates seen as contenders in the primary, Lieutenant Governor Juliana Stratton and U.S. Representative Robin Kelly. In total, 10 Democrats are in that primary race, and there are 6 Republicans running in the Senate primary. Polls open at 6 a.m. on Tuesday.